Welcome to this episode of season 6, where I share with you the highlights of what happened when I did my epic trek 16 months solo backpacking around 10 countries. And some of those countries I actually visited twice. So if you're here, please show that you're here. Give me a thumbs up, a heart, make a comment. Let me know if the sound is good, because we've been having a few sort of technology issues today. But what I'd like to say is, how many people don't say that anyway when they're going live? There's so much going on in this world of ours today. So no wonder some of us doubt very much that we can live fearless lives of remarkable joy. In this episode, I want to share with you my adventures in Montenegro, how fabulous it was, and how come I had that experience from the ugly that happened in Valencia. Well, here's the story. Airbnb refunded the amount of money from those 2 nights, but I thought that wasn't enough because they should have let me know. Oh, a heart. Thank you for the heart. Because they should have let me know that I couldn't stay there and I wouldn't have had the drama that I did have. So, what actually happened? I told them I was not happy. I read a book once that said women don't ask. I thought I was a woman who asked, and it was a bit of a shock after reading the book to realize that I don't ask. I expect, I assume that people will do the right things, that people will see the right thing to do. And by the way, whilst we're at it, many of you know that I had my own leadership training business for a decade, and so often I heard stories from women in the workplace that just assumed that their skills and their knowledge and the good that they did would be recognized by their boss and they'd get the promotion. It wasn't, and they didn't. So I was so lucky to actually get all that money. Oh, yes. Oh, this is so worthy of putting up on the screen, because you absolutely have to ask for what you want. Thank you, Jennifer. That is so true. Yet so many women don't ask. I tell you what, I should really make that the heart key for this episode. But if you are looking at something and thinking, well, that my loved one should buy me flowers because they should know that's what I want. No, often they don't. And the heart key for today is also around this whole dilemma. But before we go to the heart key, which is at the end of my broadcast, I really want to share with you the joy, the magic of Montenegro. Now, if you've been to Montenegro, please comment. If you've seen the images that I'm about to show you, then please share your experiences in the comments. Oh, by the way, I did, for the whole 16 months I was away, I did a live stream on location. Today, we're broadcasting from Ashgrove in Queensland, Australia. Still an amazing place. And so you can go to my YouTube channel, just look for Victoria Rose Solo Travel. There are 2 of us. I am not the young, buxom, gorgeous looking woman with red hair and tattoos and piercings. It's not me, just in case you have some doubt. So go and check out my YouTube channel and you'll see all of those actual live streams recorded in the country. But let's embrace the magic of Montenegro. With a big heart, I welcome you to Montenegro. Montenegro is from Phoenician and translates as Black Mountain. Leaving Skorja in Albania, I travelled via a local coach, which was an experience all of its own, along the magnificent coastline. And here is Budva. Wow, coming down the mountain, looking at this laid out before you. Lovely, incredible experience. Carried on through Kotor to Herceg Novi. And this is where I spent 7 nights. I arrived in Herceg Novi on the 23rd of May, 2019. What a joyful 7 nights I had here. Incredible. If ever you are anywhere near Montenegro, I recommend strongly that you actually go to Herceg Novi. The Lonely Planet describes this whole area as having, it's bursting at the seams with majestic mountains, breathtaking beaches, and larger than life locals. As a matter of fact, the mountains of Montenegro include some of the most rugged terrain in Europe, with an average of more than 2,000 meters in elevation. This is the old town. I was so lucky that I actually got to stay there. Boy, did my legs get a workout when I was traveling on my incredible epic trek, 16 months through Europe, Turkey, and Asia. Now, the house on the right is where I spent 7 nights at an Airbnb. Can recommend it. It was perched up here, some height. There, the old town walls there. This was my office, or one of them, in Montenegro. And if I just came back a bit from this photo and walked up a few steps, I had this incredible view of, yes, believe it or not, kiwi fruit vines. Truly beautiful. And then just a few steps away, here I am looking out over the Adriatic Sea, and see that liner there, that ocean liner. Every day, 1, 2, and sometimes more ocean liners would glide by on their way to Kotor. But here's my other office. So the other office in Montenegro. So how come I am even here drinking mulled wine at a mere $6.60 Australian dollars? How come I'm here? Well, you know when things happen to you in life and you go, that was bad, but from the ashes can rise the good. So that ugly experience that I had in Valencia, the Airbnb not only refunded the amount that I paid, they also gave me a voucher, full credit for the disaster in Valencia. So I got to stay in beautiful Montenegro for free. Look at this beautiful, quaint place. More steps. My very favourite place to stay, if it was available anywhere in Europe, was to stay in the old town. And just around the corner is the keep. The beautiful thing about Montenegro is, oh, by the way, this is looking out over the old town, and you can see how beautiful it is. What I really loved about this majestic land was the absolute evidence of different civilizations crashing and colliding, and they've left beautiful evidence behind and between the wrinkled mountains, such as Roman floor mosaics, Illyrian grey castles, which is this where I'm standing right now at the back of Herceg Novi, and other things such as Venetian stone walls, vibrantly painted Orthodox monasteries, and ornamental Catholic churches. Montenegro is such a small country, but it is true that good things do indeed come in small packages. I was only there for the 7 nights and I really had to go and see Kotor. And so I did. Caught the local bus and was so excited to see this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Kotor is a city steeped in tradition and history and has remarkable scenic views. Now, this is one of the entrances to go inside, but I chose to actually go inside with this amazing entrance. And I'm just wanting to show you the people there just before they move on and go out of sight. But look at those mountains. The walls to this castle were so steep, one wonders how did they actually build those walls? And here we have, we're inside now, walking around, and I just had to explore further and further what is up there. Now, this was a day that was wet and those stones were quite slippery, so you had to be really, really careful. But when I got to the top of this particular laneway, this is what I saw. Now imagine. That's all I want you to do now is take a moment and imagine if you were living here. Wow. Well, you could not afford not to have a pretty good level of fitness. Luckily, there are some flat areas inside that you can walk around. As you can see, these tourists, I'm not a tourist, of course, I'm a traveler, but as you can see, these are other people that are just so taken by the history, by all of the tradition. It was a beautiful 7 days I spent in Montenegro. Now, that's why so many cruise ships travel here. Here's just one. And before I left on this day, another cruise ship came in. So disgorging hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and they all go straight into the castle to start with because it's so close for them to walk. On the way back in the bus, I just got the weather had cleared up a little bit, and I had to take this photo moving along in the bus, so it didn't work out too badly. And here I am. I've only got a night, possibly two left in Herceg Novi. So I just walked around, breathing in the sea air, soaking up the history and the tradition, and totally relaxing because I had no duties my 7 nights here. I didn't have to, I wasn't volunteering anywhere. I wasn't house sitting or pet sitting, so I could just go down to my favorite cafe. This one is Peter's Pie and Coffee. It's a vegan or was it vegetarian cafe. Delicious coffee, and I would just sit there. I would just sit there, work on my computer, drink my macchiato for $1.98 Australian, my favourite coffee, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Montenegro. But 7 nights goes way too quickly, and I had to say goodbye because I am about to jump on another coach, an overnight one, sadly. I don't like the overnight ones. But it was worth the trip because I am going back to Croatia to meet and stay with a very special woman. Thank you so much, Jennifer Hines and Wow N, for your comments. Yes, I have done so much traveling. Not everyone wants to do that, but I do. So that's why I'm suffering now. And while Angel was saying you stayed in Kotor, Yes, Montenegro is very beautiful. I had a Facebook friend, Sophie, contact me today and say I should have gone to Tivat. So whenever I can go travel again, I'll definitely put Tivat on my bucket list. And I agree, the people are very friendly. So there you have it, my Montenegro magic. I had no problems there. Yes, Jennifer's got it on her. I get that, Jennifer. Who wouldn't want to go there? Truly, it is such a beautiful place. I just relaxed, refreshed, and recuperated, ready for the next exciting adventure. As I told you on my video, I'm going back to Croatia to catch up with a fabulous West Australian woman. But before I leave you today, I need to talk about my heart key because, as you well know, I've said that the world needs more heart, even more so now than ever before. So, what is the heart key for this episode? Well, before I tell you that, I have to share what the heart key for last episode was. That's episode 12. And that heart key was ditch plan B, or words to that effect. And that caused a little bit of outrage. How irresponsible of you, Victoria Rose. How can you advise people to ditch plan B? Well, I advise people strongly to ditch plan B. Caused a little bit of an uproar. Why is that? Well, I found some wise words from even Jordan B. Peterson, the clinical psychologist I'm a big fan of now. And his words are so true. What you aim at, you see. So when you're in a situation and plan A hasn't worked out, if you then, as an automatic default, just fall straight into plan B, that's all you see. You're in a different situation now. A hasn't worked, not when you made plan A and plan B in case plan A didn't work. No, it's different now. You need to see all of the opportunities that are open to you. So here's the heart key for this week, which is a follow on one, and it's called You Have to Develop Behavioral Flexibility. Look at how you behave to things that happen in the world, to you, to others in your life, and notice your habitual behavioral responses. Now, if they're working for you, good on you, go for it. Are they though? We are complex creatures, and there's so much about ourselves that we are not aware of, especially those automatic behavioral responses. Look at your behavioral flexibility. Do you have any? Are you able to stop and reflect instead of automatically knee jerking onto the same old response that you would normally have to what's happening in the minute? Behavioral flexibility. We're all leaders, and the reason I say that is we are all leading our own life. We all have to take the responsibility for how our life is turning out. Is there anyone who would like their life to be better? And it's up to you. I know I'm going to get a bit of a backlash around that as well. But think about it. If you handed over the power of your life to others, to how you are personally impacted and affected, then you are just like a bit of flotsam and jetsam on the sea of life. You are like a puppet with someone else pulling your strings, and that ain't me. And I'm pretty confident that if you're still sticking with me, then I'm kind of guessing that that is not you either. So that's the heart key for this episode: behavioral flexibility. Do you have it? Or are you in a rut with how you behave in certain situations? So I'll leave you with a wondrous point. The definition of a rut: it's simply a coffin with the ends knocked out. Don't be in a rut. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you for episode 14 when we go to Croatia, to Pula. This is Victoria Rose signing off.